Management and Research, Dr. Simranjeet Kaur Sandar ma'am, Principal, Indore Institute of Science and Technology, Dr. Keshav Patidar sir, Principal, Indore Institute of Pharmacy, Dr. Dinesh Mishra sir, all respected HOD members, faculty friends, and my dear students. I, Assistant Professor Shiji Shukla, on behalf of the entire IMR family, welcomes you all to the Day 5 of Induction Ceremony Abhigyata Parv 2020. The term Abhigyata, as we all know by now, clearly means familiarization on one end and awareness on the other end. This is a great journey of molding your young aspiring thoughts to action, dreams to ambitions, and making you all aware of your own strengths that will definitely prepare you for the real life challenges and opportunities. We have been witnessing a cornucopia of eminent speakers and real life heroes since you all commenced your exciting journey to this academic session of the year 2021. In the same path, today, on day 5 of your journey, we are extremely honored to have distinguished speaker amongst us, Sri Brahma Prakash Gaur sir. Sri Brahma Prakash Gaur sir entered the Indian Revenue Service in 1975 and got retired in January 2012 from the post of Director General of Income Tax Investigations, Mumbai. He has worked as an advisor to a group having a turnover of 5,000 crore for 2 to 3 years. In the year 1990, Sir met a spiritual master and entered spiritual life. Post this encounter, Sir became a teacher of meditation and introduced many to it as a tool of self-improvement. Over the period of time, Sir became a mentor and counselor to many of his colleagues and juniors in the income tax department. Sir leads a weekly webinar famously known as Tuesday Gatherings. This webinar is conducted every Tuesday for a group of spiritual seekers from diverse traditions. The webinar videos are posted on YouTube on the channel Brahma Prakash Gaur. The channel enjoys viewership from those unable to attend the webinars live. Today, Sir plans to take us on an expedition, an exciting journey, a very long drive that will make us look nowhere far, but yet the farthest, we ourselves. The talk is titled Stand in One's Awareness. I would like to welcome Honorable Director General Sir Shri Arun S. Bhatnagar to welcome our eminent guest speaker, Shri B.P. Gaur Sir. Over to you, sir.
आदरणीय गौर साहब, ये मेरे लिए बहुत ही भावनात्मक और सम्मान का क्षण है जब मैं आपको आपका आईएसटी, आईपी और आईएमआर के प्रांगण में स्वागत कर रहा हूं। बहुत कम व्यक्तित्व ऐसे हैं इनकम टैक्स में होते हैं जिनको हम एक अलग दृष्टि से देखते हैं। वो हमारे मेंटर होते हैं, वो हमारे मार्गदर्शक होते हैं, वो हमारे गाइड होते हैं। ऐसा ही व्यक्तित्व गौर साहब का है। उनको मैं अगर कहूं कि वो राजश्री रहे, राजश्री के पद पर हैं। एक बहुत ही गर्मामय पद इनकम टैक्स का जो होता है, डायरेक्टर जनरल इन्वेस्टिगेशन मुंबई, जो सबसे ज्यादा प्रतिष्ठात्मक पद है, उस पद पर रहते हुए ऋषि के रूप में कार्य करना, नॉन अटैचमेंट के साथ कार्य करना और डिपार्टमेंट की साख, उसका गौरव को, उसके यश को बढ़ाना एक बहुत सुलझे हुए व्यक्तित्व का परिचायक है। तो वो वास्तव में एक स्थित प्रज्ञ व्यक्तित्व के मालिक हैं। आज का जो टॉपिक है वो हम सबका बहुत प्रिय है, मेरा तो खास तौर से, और नाम भी हमने अभिज्ञता पर भी रखा है, अवेयरनेस। मुझे मालूम नहीं था कि सर भी वही टॉपिक लेंगे। जैन मुनि ने जैसे कहा, असुता अमुनि, सुता अमुनि, असुता अमुनि। जो सोया हुआ है वो अमुनि है, जो जागा हुआ है वो मुनि है। कबीर साहब ने भी इसको कहा, मन रे जागत रहियो भाई। तो जागना ही सबसे बड़ा मूल मंत्र है। अवेयरनेस मैन मीन्स यू लिव मोमेंट टू मोमेंट, अलर्ट, कॉन्शियस ऑफ योरसेल्फ and conscious of all that is happening around you. Awareness is enough for transformation, because the illusion that we are suffering from are not realities. Awareness functions in two ways. One, if something is real, it becomes more real. And if it is unreal, it becomes absolutely unreal. तो जैसा कि मैंने अपने छात्रों को पहले दिन बोला कि अवेयरनेस इज अ लाइट, ए टॉर्च, जिसको आप दिमाग के किसी भी कोने में ले जा सकते हैं और उसे प्रकाशित कर सकते हैं. रिस्क एवरीथिंग फॉर अवेयरनेस, risk everything for awareness, but never risk awareness for anything. There is no other value which is higher than awareness. Awareness is the seed of godliness in you. The way man of awareness lives, each moment is filled with tremendous grace and beauty. It is reflected in his action. Even the smallest action, just in the gesture of his hand or just the way he looks, is in the depth of his eyes or the authority of his words or the music of his silence. If he is aware, his very presence is a celebration. उसी तरह का व्यक्तित्व जो पूरी तरह से अवेयर है, वो आज आपके सामने समक्ष है. आप आशा करता हूं कि आप उनसे बात करेंगे, उनसे साक्षात जो उनसे क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे, जो आपकी अवेयरनेस है उसकी महिमा को जानेंगे, उसकी महत्ता को जानेंगे, क्योंकि सारा खेल अवेयरनेस का है. तो आई विल नॉट टेक मच ऑफ हिज टाइम, बिकॉज आई रियली सर एडमायर एंड अप्रिशिएट सर, आपने हमें समय दिया और हमारे इस निमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया. आपका बहुत बहुत साधुवाद. धन्यवाद सर, आपका स्वागत.
Thank you, Dr. Shriji, and my dear friend Arun Bhatnagar ji. I don't know whether I deserve all those words of praise which Arun has spoken about me, because I still consider myself to be a student. And I am really pleased and honored to be here in the midst of so many students and teachers, because life is a big school. And every single moment and every single day, we are here to learn certain lessons. And how we learn these lessons, how we go about life, that is what is going to determine our future and our very existence here on this planet. I was looking at the tagline for the Indore Institutes, and it says, enhancing employability quotient with holistic development. I mean, whosoever coined this tagline had a wonderful thought in mind, because the kind of education we are having today, it is giving us a lot of inputs in terms of information, understanding. It develops our intelligence. But the way the world is today, we are all facing all kinds of unprecedented challenges. So if we look at our inputs, or what we have received or what we have learned so far, then we would look for precedents in life as to how to deal with these challenges. But if challenges arise in a fashion that no precedent works, then a person is going to feel left alone, helpless. And that is where something which is higher than intelligence comes to our rescue, and that is our awareness. And people can call it presence of mind. You can call it by whatever name. Now a question may arise, what is awareness? So awareness is always there. Each one of you will say that, oh, I am aware. And the fact that we are living is testimony enough that we are aware, isn't it? We get up, we go about our day, we do things, we get inputs about how to interpret things. You see, read the newspaper, you read the news, and you interpret it. You watch the TV, you listen to a story, you interpret it. You go to a class, you are taught something, and you interpret it. And you interpret it in the way you wish, the way you have been trained to do. All this happens through awareness. So, what is it that is different between awareness and intelligence, between awareness and the information that you are receiving? So, let us look at intelligence or knowledge. We receive it every day. Our parents have given us certain, informations. From them, we have learned something. We are learning something every day from the colleges. Some of you who are in the management institutes may have had jobs earlier. You have learned something there from those jobs. And you are here in the management institute to perfect your learning, to add something more, to add some more skills to your personality so that you are of greater relevance to society and to yourself in the world. But intelligence is something that works on precedent. Mind is something that will create things that don't exist and make you live in the experience of those things. Some stories can really depict the mind and the intelligence in a beautiful manner. And one of my favorite stories is that of one Mullah Nasiruddin. He is a very famous character from the Sufi stories. And it is said that Nasiruddin was a really wise man. But he would deliberately behave in a manner that was the manner of the fool, because he wanted to tell people of the world that this is where you are caught in. Now, there are so many stories of Mullah Nasiruddin, but I would pick up something which is one of those stories which may have been coined in modern times. I live in Mumbai, and those of us who have traveled in the Mumbai locals can see or can visualize very well how difficult it is to board the train and be there and how crowded it is. So one day, Mullah Nasiruddin was traveling in a local, and a young man approached him and he said, "Well, can you tell me the time?" Mullah was wearing a watch. He looked at the time, but he did not tell this young man the time. He thought for a moment, and then he pushed this man aside and said, "You idiot, you get lost." Now, this young man was completely taken aback. And for a moment, he did not know how to react. But then he realized that Mullah had been extremely rude to him, and he decided to take matters in his own hand. So he walked up to Mullah again, grabbed him by the collar, and said, "How could you be so rude? You explain it to me. Otherwise, I will throw you out of this train." Now, Mullah became very quiet. And he said, "Well, I will tell you the reason if you let go of me." And as the young man let go of Mullah, Mullah gave this explanation. It is worth listening to. He said, "Well, son, If I were to tell you the time, we are sure to get into a conversation. I will ask you your name, you will ask me mine. And then we would be talking to each other, and we will know about each other. And because we will know each other, when my stop comes, which is after 4 stops, out of sheer courtesy, I would have invited you home. You will come to my home. And there you will meet my daughter, who is so very beautiful. And by the grace of God, you are also quite a handsome young man. So you are surely going to fall in love with each other. And very soon, you would be asking me for my daughter's hand in marriage. But, my dear friend, how can I offer my daughter in marriage to a young man like you, who does not even have a watch of his own? So look at this whole sequence. A simple question is asked, what is the time? But Mullah does not give the time because he has gone 10 steps ahead and visualized that telling the time means I have to give my daughter to this young man who does not have a watch. This is the beauty of the mind. It is so fertile. It creates so many scenarios which don't exist. And it makes us live in those scenarios or according to those scenarios. And in this world today, we all have a very fertile mind. And look around the world. Most of the people are living in insecurities that don't exist. Why? Because they are living in the mind. They are not living in the present moment. They are living in fear. They are living in anticipation of something bad happening. And that is why there is no trust in this world. We can't be normal human beings, thanks to our own minds. Mind has, another quality, that it is very robust, it is very hard-headed, and it reacts badly. There was a young man who approached his spiritual master one day, and he said, Guruji, I want to meditate. Please tell me how to meditate. And the Guru gave him the mantra, a procedure, how to take time, how to prepare the seat, what to do, how to purify the atmosphere. And when this young man was leaving the Guru said, well, my dear son, remember one thing. While you are meditating, don't think of a monkey. And this man started laughing. He said, why should I ever think of a monkey? I have not seen a monkey in the last 3 years. The Guru just smiled. And this young man, the next morning when it came, early morning, he prepared his place, he purified the house, burnt some incense, sat down, had his bath. He was feeling very pure and nice and full of anticipation. And the Guru had given him some mantra, so he started repeating the mantra. So one by one, he was following the Guru's instructions. And everything was fine till he came to the last instruction. The Guru had said, don't ever think of a monkey. And the moment this man thought about it, a monkey stood before him in his mind. And he started fighting with the monkey. But the monkey would not go. And it became so difficult that he could not sit even. So after a while, he got up, had a glass of water, went out for a walk. the monkey disappeared. And he said, oh, now the monkey doesn't seem to be there. Let me try again. And he tried again, and the same thing repeated itself. So no matter how much he tried, he could not shoo the monkey away. And then, in desperation, he went back to his guru and said, Sir, you have given me everything, all the tools for meditation, but you have also given me this monkey, and this monkey does not go. So for students of yoga, or for those who are wanting to deal with the mind is the monkey. And it is supposed to be our servant. Whatever you are today, you have joined such a prestigious institute, you are working here, or you are doing something great in life, it's all because of the mind. But in the process, what has happened is that most people have surrendered their sovereignty to the mind. Instead of being masters of their mind, they have become the servants of the mind. And the mind keeps dragging people along from one place to the other. So awareness is something which is different from the mind. And awareness gives you your sovereignty back. Another pitfall of the mind is that it is bound by its impressions. You are doing something over and over again, it gets so ingrained in your personality that you will do the same thing again no matter what. You can't let go of it. And there is another beautiful story which illustrates this point. There was a farmer, and somehow he had got into his head that he wanted a horse. He was a very pure-hearted man, so he wanted a horse which will also be very pure. He would ask everybody, I want a horse which is spiritual, which is very pure. And everybody would laugh it off. And one day this farmer was going by, and there was a priest in a local church. In the church compound, he was training his horse. And because the farmer was interested in the horse, he stood by and watched. And what he noticed was that when the priest would say, thank God, the horse would walk. When he would say, thank God, the horse would canter. And the farmer was very pleased. He said, oh my God, this horse understands the name of God. It is motivated by the name of God. So he went to the priest and he said, sir, how to use this horse? And the priest explained that you just say, thank God, it walks. You say, thank God twice, it canters. And you say, thank God 3 times, and it goes full gallop. And the farmer said, I need to buy this horse from you. You have to give it to me. I have been looking for a horse like this for such a long time. The priest was not very willing, but the farmer was very persuasive. So finally the deal was struck, and he took the reins of the horse, and he was leading the horse out of the compound when the priest called him back, and he said, hey man, come here. You should also learn the mantra for stopping the horse. And the farmer said, yes, sir. What is that? And the priest said, Amen. When we go for prayers in the church, at the end of the prayer, we say, Amen. Evamastu. Aisa hi ho. So the farmer thanked the priest again, and he took the horse home. And the next day he decided to give the horse a try. He mounted the horse and said, "Thank God." The horse walked. He said, "Thank God, thank God." The horse cantered. And he said, "Thank God, thank God, thank God." And the horse ran full gallop. It was a very fine horse. It covered an entire valley within no time, and it started climbing on a hill. And the farmer knew that at the top of the hill there was a cliff with a 2,000-foot drop below. And in the heat of the moment, he forgot how to stop the horse. But just before the edge of the cliff was reached, he remembered, "Amen." And the horse stopped. The farmer had been saved. And he felt so grateful. He looked up at the heavens and said, "Thank God." And the moment he said that, the horse walked again, and both the horse and the rider fell down. So this is the power of our impressions, what we call sanskar. That if our sanskars are to say thank God, we will say it, even if it means jumping to a sure death. And this is the hold of the mind on us. So mind is a great servant, but if we allow ourselves to become its servants, when the mind becomes the master, then it's a terrible master. Whatever we have today is because of the mind. But whatever we are facing today is also because of the mind. We see so many people who are having all kinds of psychosomatic diseases. We see so many people who are in depression. We see so many people who are finding relationships very difficult. It's all because of the mind. Now, what is awareness? So, mind is important to have, but it has to be tempered with awareness. Now, what is awareness? We all have the eyes to see. We think that the eyes see everything. But just think for a moment. Do the eyes see everything? Wherever you are sitting in your classrooms or in your hostels or in your offices as teachers, are your eyes seeing everything at this moment? Everything that is before you? If you are watching this program, if you are hearing me speak, the moment you focus on my face on the screen, your eyes see me, your ears hear me, but you become oblivious to any other thing that is there in the room. You become oblivious to any other sound that is there in the room. All of you must be sitting in your chairs. Are you aware at this time how the body is holding itself? If you give attention, you will become aware of the contact between your sit bones and the chair. If you give attention, you may become aware of the contact between your back and the backrest of the chair. If you pay attention, you become aware of how your feet are placed on the floor. But at any given point of time, There are so many inputs that are coming, but you are not aware of every input. You are not aware of everything around you. And that is where the beauty of awareness lies. You experience that to which you give your awareness, to which you give your attention. So if you are looking at me, your attention is to me, then you see me. If you are listening to my voice, then you hear my voice, you don't hear any other voice. You must have noticed that when you are studying and you go into very deep, intense concentration of the subject, then you forget about where you are. You forget about all the noise that may be there in the environment. You may not notice any movements that are taking place in that room where you are studying. So this awareness is very beautiful. Mr. Bhatnagar likened it to a torch. Yes, it is like a torch. Wherever you direct the light of the torch, that area would be lighted. We always think of contrasts. We think of darkness being removed by light. But darkness by itself does not have any existence. Darkness is absence of light. The moment a light source is brought into a dark space, that space begins to shine. So darkness by itself does not exist. In the same way, the light of awareness, the power of awareness, wherever you direct, you are able to see. And the other thing is that because we are living in the mind, we are either living in the past or we are living in the future. And because we are either living in the past or the future, we miss the present. Any possibility that you have can be explored only in the present. And you can explore this possibility only if you are there in the present. We see dreams in the night when we go to bed. But the way our life is, most of the time, even when we are awake, we are supposed to be here completely in this world, but our mind is occupied elsewhere. We are not present where we are. And that is why that state is known as daydreaming. Diva Swapna. So for a person to be fully functional, it is very important that he stays in the present. You would have noticed that those who are present fully, they can deal with any situation. They can think of solutions which never existed. Because when you are in the present, your awareness is fully there and it can create many possibilities that did not exist. Most of you come from streams where you may have studied science. And we all know of these great men, Ramanujan or other scientists, who got solutions to their own problems or issues while they were asleep. Because when they were asleep, the mind was at rest. And when the mind was at rest, the awareness played. They had something, some power within themselves or some facility within themselves to connect with their awareness, and they were given solutions that never existed before. So it is very important for all of us to be aware. And when we are aware, and when we are in the present moment, one great thing that happens is that our thoughts start slowing down. And when the thoughts start slowing down, the mind becomes a friend. The mind is no longer the master. The mind is no longer the tormentor. It becomes a faithful servant. And we can order it around. We can ask it, I want a solution to this problem. And this mind will give us the solution. But if the mind is in control, then the mind will exaggerate the problem and say, you are helpless. I have no precedent to deal with this problem. So, what can I do? So, that is why it is very important to become aware of awareness, this consciousness which is there. Most of you are students and teachers. If I were to ask you today, you say, oh, I am a student. You say, I am a teacher. The teachers may be married, they may be having families. So when they go home, they become wives and husbands or parents, whatever. When they go before their parents, they will become children. When the teachers are taking the class, they are the teachers and you become students. But suppose on a particular day, a student decides to take the class, then he becomes the teacher and others become students. I'm speaking to you right now. I am the speaker and you are the audience. But if you were to speak, I will become the audience. So we keep playing these roles continuously. But who is playing these roles? There is a part of us which has never changed. The roles may change, but that part never changed. That is our own consciousness. That consciousness was a child one day. It has become a student, it has become a professional, it will become a professional, it will become a teacher, it will become a father, mother, whatever. Some of you may become business leaders, some of you may become great leaders, politics. You enter politics. Some of you may become social reformers, activists. But it is that very consciousness which started within you as a child, continues there. And it will continue with you till the last day of your life. So it is very important to remain in touch with that consciousness, that awareness, which is the real part of you. And there is a very simple way to get in touch with this awareness. It's always there. It is ours. It's all a matter of attention. So just wherever you are, become aware of how you are sitting. Pay attention to every limb of your body. Just imagine that your spine is elongating upwards towards the ceiling and you are becoming taller by yourself. You will notice that as your spine becomes more erect, you become more alert. You are being brought there in the present moment. Become aware of your breath. Take a deep breath in and let a long breath out. Take a deep breath in and let a long breath out. One more time. Take a deep breath in and let a long breath out. As you breathe in, feel that energy is coming into your body and every cell is getting enlivened more and more. And as you breathe out, feel that any tiredness, laziness, any sensation of pain or uneasiness is gradually being let out of your system. Now revert to your normal breathing. Most of the time we are breathing, but we are not aware of our breath. So just become simply aware of how you are breathing. There should not be any effort involved. If you have gone to the seashore, you must have seen how the waves come onto the seashore by their own power and they recede back into the sea by their own power. So just imagine that there is a sea of air outside of you and your breath is just the wave of the sea that comes into you by its own power. And then it goes back to the sea, out of you, by its own power. You will notice that when you are in the awareness of the breath, you are fully in the present moment. It's a moment of awareness. And if you give your thoughts to the breath, then no other thoughts bother you. So just take a 2 minute or two to be in the awareness of your breath. Don't try to force the breath. Let the breath walk into you naturally and then walk out of you naturally. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just sit quietly for a minute or two, watching the breath as it comes in and as it goes out. Be fully there. you will notice that your mind slows down. The thoughts begin to disappear. Or when you are paying attention to the breath, even if thoughts come, just by bringing your attention back to the breath, you can let the thoughts be and you don't get involved in those thoughts. Now gently become aware of the way you are holding your body. Become aware of the contact between your sit bones and the chair. Become aware of where your hands are placed. Are they there on the armrests of the chairs? Or they are there in your lap? Become aware of your fingers, your palms. You might feel some kind of a tingling sensation there. Gradually bring your awareness to your arms. Then to your shoulders. Let the shoulders be relaxed. Become aware of your chest. Feel the movement of air as you breathe in through the chest and as you breathe out. The slight sense of expansion and deflation that happens with the in-breath and the out-breath. Now become aware of your belly. See how when the breath moves in, the belly expands outside. It becomes soft. Have the feeling that the breathing that is coming inside you is generally caressing all the limbs inside the stomach. The breath does not go there, but it pushes the diaphragm below. So as you breathe in and breathe out, the limbs in the stomach are getting a beautiful massage. Become aware of the muscles in the back. Let them relax. Move your awareness to your throat. Let the skin outside and the muscles inside relax. Bring your awareness to your face. One by one, become aware of your lips. Relax the lips, especially the upper lip. Become aware of your cheeks and let them relax. Become aware of the area around your eyes and let it relax. Become aware of the area at the top of your skull. Let it relax. Allow your forehead and your eyebrows to relax. You may feel some sensation there. As you breathe in, try to become aware of everything together. Your breath, the way your body is holding itself, and the kind of sensations that are there in all the different limbs of the body. At the same time, become aware of your surroundings. If there are any sounds, just notice them without getting affected by them. Become aware of the presence of everybody else around you, or the presence of everybody else connected through this webinar. We are all connected by consciousness in this moment. Now rest in this awareness, which is expanded. And you will see that anything that you can give your awareness to, or anything that you give your attention to, you can know it. Your awareness is the torch that lights everything around you, inside you. It lights every thought in your mind. And yet this awareness does not belong to anyone. It is the unchanging part of you that has been with you since the time you were born in this birth. And it is going to remain with you till the time You drop this body. Just be in that awareness. The expanded awareness, which is connecting you not only to yourself, but to everything outside of you. It is that passport which does not require any visa, and which is honored by one and all. But most of all, it needs to be honored by you because it is your awareness. When you stand in your awareness, there is tremendous clarity. There is wisdom. There is presence. And there is resolution. Just be in this awareness for a few moments. Now begin to withdraw the flow of this awareness outside, back to your bodies. Become more aware of the body. Become aware of your posture, how you are seated, how your head is balanced on the shoulders. Become aware of where your hands are placed, how your feet are touching the floor. Become aware of the taste in your mouth. Become aware of the sounds in your room. Try and move your fingers. You can flex your toes. If you want, you can rub your hands against each other so that you become fully present in the body once again in the waking state awareness. How does it feel? Would someone like to share? You can write in the chat box perhaps. Or else, if you have any questions, you are most welcome to ask me. When we are in awareness, we are in control. You must have noticed that. So, any questions? No questions? That also is good. Some, this, Priyanka Patel, no, Jyoti Raghuvanshi says, that was a great experience. We felt peace everywhere. Thank you. Yes, there is great peace. And when we are at peace with ourselves, then we are in a position of authority. We are in a position of command, and we can take decisions. That's true. Thank you for your feedback. Ali Kathawala says it was a peaceful scenario. Yes. Tanu Bai says it was magical. Yes, it is magical because we are so much caught up in the mind that we never, try to dissociate ourselves with the mind. And simple act of awareness brings us into the present moment. And most of our failures come from the fact that we are not fully in the present. We are either in the past. What is past? Past is prejudice. Past is bad memory. What is it that haunts us most? Those bad memories are prejudices of the past. And future is our aspirations, but a lot of fears come into that. So when we are in the present moment, this moment is the only moment we have to act upon. And this is a simple practice that you can use. Yogendra Singh says, thank you for such a beautiful session. Loved. Paridhi Gupta says, felt really very light from inside. Yes, it makes you light because when you are within yourselves, a lot of purification takes place. And it takes place not just on the mental level, but it also takes place on the physical level. And Devrat Kaurav says, how to balance study, stress, and personal peace. Yes, there is a lot of stress. Now you are bothered about study stress, but when we go out in the professional world, then you will notice that there is much more stress. And there are so many demands. The family demands something, the boss demands something, your subordinates demand something. And then the worst demand that is coming to all of us is that the circumstances which we are used to, they suddenly change. And we have to find something totally new to support ourselves. So all these things are going to come. And it is something, you see, there is no religion involved in it. There is no dogma involved in it. You just sit quietly and watch. Watch yourself. You will become brought into the present moment. And it is the best moment where you can help yourself.
Sir,
Yes.
shall I help you out with the feedbacks and the questions that students are asking?
Oh, yes, very good.
Okay, so, sir, we are
That,
having wonderful questions from the students. Harshita Kanungo is saying, sir, that she's feeling very relaxed and it was a wonderful session. Sumit Sahu is asking you, sir, can we do it in the evening?
you can do it anytime. If you have 2 minutes between classes, if you are feeling tired, if you are feeling run down, just take a few moments. You are being yourself. It is as simple as that. So there is no fixed time. And you can just do it. Of course, if you make out time, if you say you can do it for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, it's wonderful. But as a matter of routine, you can just do it. Anytime you just, how do we do it? When we feel tired, we just sigh out. So when you are sighing out, then you are releasing the stress out. So just release the stress and sit quietly. It will do it for you.
Sir, Jyoti Raghuvanshi is asking, sir, how much self-awareness is important to us and how can we practice it in daily life?
See, without awareness, you can't do anything. You are already aware. You are already that. The question is that because we are so much caught in the mind, we got caught up, we identify with ourselves with the roles that we play in life.
Right.
I had a relative who was a jailer. He identified with the role of being a jailer so much that he made even his own house a jail. Everybody was in that jail. So if we stop identifying with the roles, we can, become aware. And when we are aware, we automatically stop identifying with the roles. We are free.
Right. So Nikita Chaudhary is saying, felt inner peace from the soul. Really a very peaceful session.
Yes,
Pooja Patikar is thanking you for an amazing session, sir.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, when we sit
Devansh,
quietly, we are in touch with our own inner being. And the nature of that inner being is peace, tranquility, knowledge, light. So that is all those things we feel.
yeah. Sir, Tanu Bias is having a very interesting question. Sir,
Hmm.
I want to know the secret behind your radiant personality.
Oh, I'm an old man. But you see, it is like this that I had when I was about 36, 37. This question arose in my mind. I was in a job, I was being respected for my work, but there came a point of time when I lost interest because there were two, three questions that arose in my mind. And one was, who am I? I had no answer. The other question was, what is my purpose in life? All of us have come here for some purpose. I had no answer. And I thought I was a very arrogant person. I thought I am very intelligent, and with my intelligence, I can find all the answers. But the intelligence failed. And when the intelligence failed, then it was time to turn within. And I met a spiritual master who taught me how to meditate. And when I started looking within, then I changed. And I could see that it is the same being, it is the same power, the same awareness which has become everybody else. So I had this tremendous connectivity with people. I was not a speaker earlier. I was a very shy person, very much introverted. But when I began to meditate, when I connected with my inner soul or self, I could see that sameness, the same thing everywhere else. And there was this great urge to connect to people. And that is how I am speaking to you today, with love. So it is that love, which that sameness or that harmony that I feel with every other person. That is why you feel that I am radiant. I am a very ordinary fellow otherwise.
So Devrat Kaurav leads to know that if past motivates us, then also there what's wrong about thinking about the past, or is it not bad thinking about the past?
No, past is a teacher. The teacher that past gives an experience which motivates us. But what happens? We get caught up in the past. 10 years ago, somebody abused me. Now, every single morning, I think of that person, I feel that abuse, and I get colored with negativity. That is wrong. Going back to the past as a third person to learn some experience, that's a great thing. That's a sign of evolution. But going back to the past to nurture your negativity is bad. So sometimes what happens, you look at what is happening in our society.
Right.
History is, people are now repeating history. So and so did this to me, so us too, so we must do so and so to the others also. That is not going to help. That is not a sign of evolution.
Right. Sir Naina Katoj, she wants to know that, sir, is stress always problematic? How can we use it to motivate ourselves and better our performance? Rather, use it as a
No,
tool for
huh,
improvement.
I would, stress is problematic, challenge is not. So
Right.
don't feel stress, take things as challenge
Yeah.
and see how best you can do it. But don't make it so strong. Don't make your ego so strong that you have to overcome every challenge. Because what is happening in the process of, winning over, in that mad race to win over things, people are destroying their lives. People are having heart attacks at the age of 33, 34. It was unheard of. Why is it happening? Because people have just spent themselves, they've finished themselves. So it is good to have stress as long as you are taking it as a challenge. But don't make it a prestige issue.
Exactly.
Make it a learning point.
Right, right. So Amisha and Anjali are again thanking you for a beautiful and a very peaceful session. Quite knowledgeable for them. At such a young age, they're addressing this part, so they're really lucky enough. So we have another question. How to do introspection ourselves?
You are already introspecting by asking this question. Because a person who is not introspecting will not ask this question. It is an introspection is not a fight with yourself. Introspection is just to learn. We may have done something very bad at some point of time. But introspection does not mean that we think that, oh my God, I did this, this is so bad, I am so bad, and you start cursing yourself. No. Something happened. It happened. What is the lesson in it? And we grow out of it. That is introspection. So, introspection is something that gives us an opportunity to strengthen what is good in us, what is desirable in us, or what is needed by us. And it also gives us an opportunity to learn from what was not desirable and just move on. That is the beauty of introspection.
So next we have Amisha asking, how will we remove the past from our mind?
No, you cannot remove, and you need not remove. What you can remove is getting caught up in the past. Let the past be like a story. If it is a beautiful story, sometimes you can revisit it. If it is a sad story, then also sometimes you can revisit it without getting caught in it. That's the beauty.
Right.
Because if you try to erase the past, you will be struggling with yourself. And you will be trying to kill a part of yourself. That is not done. We should never do that. And one thing is there, that no matter where you are, no matter what you think you are wonderful. This great awareness has chosen to make this body of yours its home. And out of respect for this awareness, we should never ever condemn ourselves or denigrate ourselves. That is not done.
Very true.
And I can share this with the students that, in my meditations, I have access to some of my past lives. I have been a soldier. I have murdered. I have made mistakes because of which people have been killed. But memory of that past is a teaching event. It's a learning that I have to be more careful in life with my words and my actions. Are they going to cause any harm to anybody, including myself? If that is so, I have to be aware that awareness must tell me.
So next we have Akash Yadav asking a very typical question that we all address on a day-to-day basis, that there are situations where we have to choose between the decisions of our heart and mind. And what we have to choose exactly is a confusion always. So your take on that, sir.
Yeah, that's a good question. I really love this question. We are always, sort of encountered with these situations where there are no clear answers. And it is like destiny has brought us to a point where we have to make a choice. Now, we can contemplate, we can think about it, and every choice comes with a baggage.
Right.
Every choice has some consequences, a good consequence and a bad consequence, or an undesirable consequence. So we have to make a conscious choice, and we will have to live with that choice. There is no other way, because every choice we make in life comes with some pros and cons, and we learn. So let us not really wonder, give so much of time about it. You cannot remain in indecision forever. Like students have come, they have taken particular streams to study. That was a choice to be made. And this choice will come with its own consequences. So the thing is, you have made a choice, make the best out of it. That's all you can do. And let whatever teaching has to come and take it with humility. That's it.
Right. So we have few more questions, like how to stop negative thoughts.
No, you cannot stop them. You can only stop taking notice of them. See, the thoughts, negative thoughts come because we have trained our mind to think negatively. But mind is trained. Mind does not have any intelligence of its own. All that intelligence it has, we have imparted it through our own behavior, our choice. So what we can do is that we can change the direction of our choice. We make choice. Instead of choosing to have a negative thought each time, we can divert the mind to some good thoughts. If you like good music, listen to good music. If you like good company, go for that good company. And as you strengthen those areas where your mind is filled with more positive thoughts, then those negative things will start disappearing. But it is hard work. Mind is like a river. If you want to cross the river of the mind, it's a mighty river. So you must have seen, how do you cross a mighty river? You cannot swim perpendicular to the flow of the river. So it is not that today you decide, I shall not entertain any negative thoughts and the mind will help you. No, the mind will create such negativity that you will be helpless. So what is the way out? A great swimmer, what does he do when he has to cross a river? He just leaves himself in the flow of the river and keeps trying little by little, little by little. He will cross the river, go to the other end, diagonally, but he would have saved himself. But if somebody tries to swim the river or cross the river perpendicular to the flow, he is bound to finish himself. He will die. He will lose his breath and drown. So mind is like a mighty river. We have to cross the mind. We have to make the mind our friend. But we must do it in the way this great swimmer does. Leave yourself in the mind and just try little by little every day, and it will become your friend.
I earlier an occasion I told them, replace your negative choices with more profound positive choices.
Yes.
Then will be a multiplier effect will come. Slowly you can replace. Then the way out will change. The whole thing will change.
Yes, sir. We have another question from Aishwarya Tawar, sir. She wants to know, even if I identify my weakness, but find it very difficult to overcome, how can I make it happen?
No, first thing is that don't be too harsh on yourself. Unless you love yourself, you cannot change yourself. Absolutely. So never. You see, it is slow work. And some of the weaknesses that we have acquired it over lifetimes. So all of a sudden we cannot banish them. But becoming aware of a weakness is the first action. When you are aware, then when you commit the same act of weakness, you are more aware. And then because you are aware, gradually the frequency of that action or falling into that mold of action that frequency starts coming down. And then there comes a point when you are going to fall into that weakness, but you become aware and you don't do that.
Right.
And then that weakness realizes that, oh, I cannot trouble this person anymore. So that weakness is going to leave you and go. That is it.
Right.
It's making intelligent choices every moment.
Right. Rather taking controls of your mind, basically.
You cannot control the mind. Because if you try to control the mind is too strong.
Gotcha.
Because you see, our scriptures tell us that what is chitta, the mind, stuff of the mind. It is made up of chitti. It is said that consciousness, pure consciousness, is the creator of this universe. It is the maintainer and destroyer of this universe. It can create, maintain, and destroy real universes. But the mind, it creates, maintains, and destroys these imaginary universes of thoughts and emotions. But the power is the same. When you feel anger, see the power. Yeah. When you feel love, see the power. So it is like this, it is very powerful. You can't control the mind. You can just help the mind become your friend by being nice to the mind.
Right. Another question in line with the almost same thing, sir. How do meditation help in every problem of our lifestyle?
See, meditation only calms your mind. It gives you a centeredness. See, you remember a particular day when you slept very well. How did you feel the next morning?
Right.
All your body and mind was rested, full of energy and light, and you were raring to go, face anything. On that day, you could have faced any challenge.
Right.
So meditation is a process which allows you to rest in your own awareness, in your own sovereignty. And when you are there, you can approach anything with great confidence and ability.
So there are a few more questions, and we'll take last few. That yes. How to ignore the negative people around you who basically motivate you, and how to take control of emotions in such circumstances.
See, there are some negative people whom you can, sort of ignore. Try to avoid their company, especially people, those who run you down. Nobody in this world should run any other person down. And you will find that those negative people who run you down, they often either do not have a good opinion about themselves, or they are too bigoted and arrogant. So it's best to avoid them, but sometimes you cannot avoid them. So you just pray for them. God should give them better sense. But for God's sake, never ever consider yourself unworthy or small. Don't allow other people's opinion of you to determine who you are.
Very true. Sir, one thing related to academics has popped up from Devrat Kaurav. He's asking that, sir, sometimes we are studying the entire day, but it is not at all effective. How to make it effective and be more productive and output oriented?
Meditate 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. Because what happens is that when the mind is at rest, its receptivity increases. If you are putting so much of effort, studying the whole day, that means the mind is not getting rest. And if it is not getting rest, its receptivity will be at a low ebb. So if you have a kind of technique with you that the mind becomes at rest, then it will become more receptive. And make a life a whole, do some physical exercise, enjoy some music, Do something which interests you, and also study, because study is not everything. Most of the time, if you ask people who have gone out, they say that, okay, study or education prepared us with a bent of mind. But what really helped us in life is what we are. And it's very important to see what you are and how you are and how are you preparing yourself to face life. And that is where this clarity of mind or being restfulness of mind, it comes to great help. So do something and give your mind a little rest. Don't study too
Yeah.
much.
So that is one thing. And meditation it itself is a rest to a hyperactive mind, as our mind is like a mad monkey. The one definition of meditation itself is a give rest to your hyperactive mind and bring more present in your life, as you have rightly said. The present moment awareness is the key to evolution. So meditation is also teaches us how to bring srashta, drashta, and sakshi bhava. So you should bring more present in your life. You will be present in the situation, and the things will try to become more clearer to you.
And one thing I can tell you from my experience is that if your mind is rested, then and you are happy from within, then you will not have to read the same thing over and over again or cram it just to be able to pass the exam. Because at the time of exam or something come, even if you have read it once or twice, it will come back to you and you will be able to present yourself. And when the mind is clear, there will be a great improvement in the clarity of thought. And as the clarity of thought comes, your speech, your writing, everything will start to shine. So that is where it works, how it works.
Right.
Yes, sir, there is a huge panel of students saying thank you. So thanks a lot, sir, for a person of your caliber to take out time out of your busy schedule and have such an interactive session with all our students. It is really important, the importance that you have shown to us, that it is really important for having the spiritual connect and internal peace in this fast-paced and highly competitive world. I would really like to hand over my baton to some of the students to propose the expression of gratitude towards you. So I would like to welcome our few students onto the panel. First is Jiten Pandey, sir. I would like to call him up for the vote of thanks. Jiten?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
For the vote of thanks.
Yes. A very warm good morning to all of you present here. Honorable Sri B.P. Gaur sir, respected DG sir, respected principal ma'am, and the entire family of IIMR. Myself Jitendra Pandey, I am blessed for this golden opportunity to attend this wonderful session. I would like to thank Sri B.P. Gaur sir for a very motivational and enlightening session. Sir, we have learned a lot today. This shall help us to have a better and balanced in personal and professional life in the upcoming days. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your precious time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Jiten.
Next, we also have some few more students. They are really excited for the same. Can I have Ali Asgar Kathawala? Ali, over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, dear, you're audible.
Ali, we don't see your face. Can we pin Ali?
Good morning.
Sure, sir. Ali, can you put on your video
Yes,
camera?
yes, sure.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, now we can see.
Good morning to one and all present here. Respected BP God sir, respected DG sir, respected principal madam, respected HODs, respected faculties, and all my dear friends. I am Alisgar Kathawala, and I would sincerely like to propose the vote of thanks to Honorable BP God sir for his precious time on behalf of the entire IIMR family. It was indeed an honor to have you, sir, as our guest speaker today. I would also like to extend my gratitude for providing us deep insights regarding how one should concentrate on his powers, be always aware of his surroundings and his body, and should be ready to face all the challenges and move forward in his life. It was an amazing and fruitful session. We had a good time hearing from you today. Thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ali.
So there's one more student, Devansh Galgale, would like to express his vote of thanks. Devansh, over to you.
Good morning, one and all presented here. I considered it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed it as a memorable and successful event. First of all, I would like to thank Almighty God for making today's function a great success. On behalf of MBA first semester student, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to Shri Brahma Prakash Gaur sir. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your inspiring and motivating words. Wholeheartedly, I would like to thank our Honorable DG sir, Principal ma'am, faculty member, and also the organizing team for organizing such a great event. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, Devansh.
So it was a wonderful session, and thank you for imbibing us with the learnings that yes, mind can be our friend, and neither do we have to be its slave, or nor does it has to be our slave. We can work in cognizance with each other.
Yes.
And
thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
And
you. Thank you so
after
much.
this crisis is over, then we will call you, sir, here in our.
It has been a pleasure, and God bless you all. And thank you, Dr. Simran, for all the coordination that you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time, sir.
Right, sir.
That the session was really very insightful, and will surely help us to bring in, self-awareness amongst us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all.
Right, sir. Namaskar, sir.
Thank you, DG.
Tomorrow we are having a very important session, and Mr. J.K. Dadu is addressing all of you, and he is also from IIM Ahmedabad, then appeared in IAS, and a very successful career as a bureaucrat.